Hey, what's good, y'all? It's C Will, and this is the Passive Income Network. On this podcast, we talk about investing in assets that produce passive income. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment and say what's good. On this episode, we have a special podcast feature with Dan of Ultrade. Let's bring him on the show. Hey, what's good, Dan?
Hey, good to be here. How's it going?
I'm well. It's a great day over here. Been a busy one. So we're just gonna keep it going. How about yourself?
Good. We are working towards our main net, and it's been a lot of work, but we're getting there.
Excellent. Okay. Well, let's get to it. Let's introduce yourself to the audience. Just tell them a little bit about who you are, and then what's your role and position right now.
Sure. So I'm Dan Goldman. I'm the founder and CEO of Ultrade. I've been in tech for many, many years. I started one of my first company when I was still in high school. Yeah, I'm 45 now, so it's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a minute. So yeah, I started one of the very first internet service providers in Israel, which is where I'm from originally.
Nice.
So I've been in the space in generally in tech for a very long time, and in the blockchain and crypto space, I've been since 2012 or so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Veteran in the
more than
space. That's the beginning.
yeah, so a decade now, just shortly after the beginning. And I've done a few things in the space as well, created coins, trading platforms, etc. And since September of 2021, I've been working on Ultrade, and we're working very hard to bring it to a mainnet. We've been on testnet for a while now, and yeah, we're very excited to almost be there.
Yep, real close. Okay. Well, let's talk about it. Can you let the audience know what is Ultrade and what are you guys bringing to the market?
Sure. So, in a nutshell, Ultrade is a white label DeFi trading infrastructure or platform. We call it DeFi as a service. The way we see it, there are a ton of exchanges out there, right? Either centralized or decentralized, and ultimately they're all the same, right? So there's no real differentiation in their technologies. So if it's Binance or FTX, God rest its soul, or down the list of hundreds of other exchanges, it's all the same. Order book trading,
Yep.
DEXs, Uniswap, SushiSwap, whatever swap.
Mhm.
Again, it's all the same. Now, on the other hand, you have all these, thousands and thousands and thousands of Web3 brands, and all those brands, their users or the communities, whenever they need trading services, those brands need to tell their users, no, not here. Go somewhere else, please.
Mm-hmm.
It can be just for generic trading, or it can be for their own token, right? So if a project or a brand has their own token, if you want to come and buy that token or trade it, you can't do it in the brand itself. They have to tell you, no, go somewhere else.
Which
Which is
go to
crazy.
Tiny or something. I'll go.
Yeah, so if it's on Algorand, yeah, go to Tiny Man or something like that, which doesn't make any sense because it's generic. So if the trading services are generic, why can't those brands provide the service themselves?
Okay.
And that's what Ultrade is here to do. So
it's like a SaaS company, software as a service, but
it is, yes. DeFi as a service, yes, as a SaaS in the form of DeFi, yes,
okay.
or DeFi in the form of SaaS. That's exactly right, and it enables any brand, of whatever kind. It can be a Web3 brand. It can be an influencer or KOL or anyone who has a Web3 related audience can instantly, literally in like less than 10 minutes, launch a full DeFi trading platform with all the bells and whistles, and provide these trading services as an in-brand value add service to their users and also earn the majority of the trading fees generated by their users. And they don't even need to jumpstart their own liquidity because our system is all one big shared network. So your brand, let's say you had your own brand and there are 10 others, right? Each of them, it's their own brand, but it's the same liquidity pools, the same order books. So the liquidity is shared and everybody's trading with everybody. So as a brand, you don't even need to jumpstart the liquidity unless you're listing your own token. That's a different story, but that's
Yeah,
the same anywhere else. You might do that.
Oh, okay. Let me make sure I get the understanding right. So
Sure.
let's say C Will got his website up, and I have my tokens already out. We'll say with Ultrade, I can just basically plug in a DEX directly on my website to do some swapping for my community. But I would also collect those fees. That's what we getting at?
Correct. And
Okay.
not only swap. So it's not just an AMM. It's
Mm,
also a full order book DEX as well.
okay.
With limit orders, market orders, etc. So you get both of these products. Later on, we plan on adding more. Also derivatives. Lending and borrowing, etc. So there's going to be more and more products there that you can add, and literally like that. With a few clicks, that's all it takes. You don't need to know how to program anything. You don't need nothing.
Mm,
You can embed it into your existing website or existing app literally in less than 10 minutes, customize everything. You decide what pairs you want to list in your own exchange. You can decide, you can even change your fees. A lot of things that you can customize. You can list your own token pair. Not just in the AMM, but also in the order book, which is, again, not something that's usually available to you. And when you do that, by the way, every other partner in the network can see that you created a new pair, and literally in one click, also, they can list you for trading to their own users. So you get the benefit of network effects from that as well. So
well,
there's a lot of value that we're packing into this product.
yeah, it's definitely interesting. I haven't heard of it, like in terms of I haven't seen anyone doing this. So shout out to y'all. Um,
Appreciate that.
More follow up questions. Is this multi chain as well, or is it just for like Algorand assets right now, or what are all the platforms y'all building on?
So we started with Algorand, and that's our first chain that we're about to go on mainnet in
Okay.
the next couple of months. But we are working on multi-chain. So next is EVM, and which will include Ethereum, Polygon, Binance Smart Chain, etc.
Oh, that's nice. Okay. So
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit more about your team. Like, how many people you got on your team, and are there other co-founders and things of that nature?
Well, we're about 15 people now. So the majority of them are technical people, with some also marketing, etc.
Mhm.
Uh, I'm the founder of the company, but I brought on board a bunch of people from all over the world. Um, you know, our CTO Roman is phenomenal. The guy has an insane resume, experience. He actually built for years his own company with doing white label trading solutions for the traditional world, and he's highly experienced in that, and he's helping to bring that knowledge now into the crypto space. So that's an example of one of our kind of like one of the people helping to lead the development
Mhm.
alongside me.
Okay, so in terms of before I was about to go to Algorand, actually something else. So before we go there, what is y'all method for like getting these people in? So if I'm, I got a company, how do I get access to this or start a liquidity pool or reach out? Like, how do we do that?
So right now we're still on testnet, and we started doing business development, talking with Algorand project, since that's our first chain.
Yep.
We already signed up, I think, between 12 and 15 projects as kind of like what we call launch partners.
Okay.
I think by the time we go to mainnet, we might be already we'll probably be at 20, maybe more. And by the way, that's a lot for a small chain like Algorand.
Yeah.
Algorand only has, maybe 120 projects or so that are publicly known, roughly, right?
Yeah.
So we already have more than 10% of the entire Algorand ecosystem as launch partners, which is kind of nuts.
Well, yeah, that is impressive.
That's big validation for us, in terms of product market fit. And it's really encouraging for us to see such interest in what we're doing. And but we, some came to us actually, kind of just through our social channels to inquire about it, and for others we reached out to them.
Okay.
We're about to give them access actually to a closed beta, probably by end of this month. And after that, once we are closer to mainnet, or once mainnet is out, pretty much anybody will be able to just join. You'll be able to go to the website, either apply or just open an account with us. Maybe at first it'll be still kind of curated, possibly. But ultimately, the goal is for it to be open so that anyone, anywhere can just go, and literally 10 minutes, you have your own DeFi trading platform done.
Easy. Okay. Security. Let's talk about security. So how does that aspect work? If we have a open source product that is going to be used on multiple platforms, how does the security work?
So everything, of course, first of all, the smart contracts are not controlled by the partners, the white label partners, so they can't change the code in any way.
Nice. Okay.
And other than that, the trading platform is completely non-custodial. So no one, us or any other partner, has access to funds that are being traded. It's completely non-custodial through the smart contracts. So yeah, we're going to be doing an audit soon, and prior to going to mainnet, and
audit is one of my favorite words in crypto now.
Yeah, well, it's important.
Yes. So, okay. Why did you start on Algorand? It's always one of my favorite questions to ask in comparison. Like, why didn't you start on Ethereum or, let's say, AVAX?
Well, it's a good question. The answer is, it's more than one aspect. I've been, a supporter of Algorand for a long time, and actually met Silvio Micali in New York in 2017.
Oh, that was early.
Yeah. And Algorand is fantastic from a technology standpoint, highly secure, fast, scalable, but the chain is early, which is also a good thing, because it gives us a chance to build something and then grow with the chain.
Yep.
I think it has a lot going for it, and I think it's going to be grow hopefully once the market gets better again. I think Algorand will be one of the better performing chains overall. So kind of put together those two things, that's where I felt it made sense for us to start. But with that said, EVM is EVM. There's a lot of size there in terms of market. So that's where we're going next. As compared, by the way, when I first started, I was considering Solana as well. But I had a lot of issues, concerns with its stability.
Yeah,
and
definitely the chain stops a little too often for my liking.
Yeah, and I was also worried. It's funny. I tweeted about this at some point recently, that I saw FTX, and SBF invest heavily in Solana, in various projects, and etc. And something felt, I kept asking myself, what is he seeing there that I'm not? It turns out that he just disregarded a lot of red flags. Now, I'm not saying that the chain isn't worthwhile. It has a lot of merit, but it has a lot of issues and concerns, and hopefully they'll be able to resolve them over time. But there are serious concerns there. So, for me to build a project, raise capital, and build something, I did not feel, strong. I didn't feel safe enough or strong enough to do it on Solana versus, for example, Algorand. So
makes sense.
Yeah.
Solana was funny because I've always been really like skeptical as well. Like I don't know. So I finally grabbed a little bit of the Solana token, and then the FTX situation happened. So immediately the value cut in half. I was like, okay, that was a good sign for me.
That's one aspect of it, but obviously the technology is, for me for building the product on that technology and in that ecosystem, I had all sorts of red flags that prevent me from doing that. And that's not to say, maybe we'll expand there at some point if it makes sense. But
popular
right now, but right now I think EVM should be our next target. Which is multiple chains, right?
Yep. How do you feel about like the Cosmos ecosystem? Because I know they got the IBC protocols where, I think even actually Binance Smart Chain is off of that technology as well.
I haven't dived into it that much. I'm not sure. I feel like it might make more sense to use it as a, if and when we were going to go with a cross-chain solution, maybe that would make more sense. But right now, I feel like multi-chain versus cross-chain might be a better fit for us in where we are, as a company. And the difference is, cross-chain means that things are traded literally across chain between the same app. Versus multi-chain, basically, doing the same thing but separately on separate chains, which I feel right now is a strong enough value proposition for what we're building, that doing the cross-chain is going to add a lot of complexity, but not enough of a value compared to a smaller lift, but a broad, larger value for the company in terms of, users, etc.
Definitely makes sense. Okay, let's slowly transition with a closeout a little bit and talk about a few things. The token is make sure I say it right, ULTR token. Can we talk about that token and the utility that's behind it?
Sure. So the ULTRADE token has not been released yet. It's designed to provide utility in several ways. Some of the more basic things that you'll be familiar from a lot of other tokens out there is, of course, governance and things like fee discounts for trading and things like that. But something that we're doing that we think is novel, I haven't encountered anything like that before, is actually the token serves as kind of like the licensing of the SaaS of our DAS, or the DeFi as a service platform.
Yep.
So, every white label partner earns a revenue share of the fees with us, right? So their users are using the platform, they're paying fees for trading. We collect the fees and share it with the white label partner. So the white label partner actually has an option. They can earn a higher share of the revenue by staking a certain ratio of our token.
Okay.
So if you want, so the token utility is directly related and correlated with the usage of the system, and creates kind of like a symbiotic relationship between us and the white label partners. So we may earn a lower share of the fees, but the partners stake a higher proportion, of the token, which again recaptures value for our network. Or if they don't, then they get a lesser share, and Ultrade again gets a higher share of their revenues, which goes back into the token ecosystem with token buys and burns, etc., and distributions and so on.
Okay, makes sense. All right. Can you tell us potentially when the platform will launch and when we can start using it as like in the public or other business people?
Roughly end of February, or it might go into March, depending on when we can finish the audit. But that's roughly where we're headed.
Excellent. All right. Let's start to close out. Can you tell the folks where to find you or Ultrade and any other information you would like the audience to know?
Sure. I mean, I believe you can see on the screen ultrade.org. That's our website. In there are links to a bunch of resources. There's, of course, all the social channels. There's the Medium channel, etc. So there's a wealth of information to look into, and of course, the testnet itself of the trading system, not the white label. The white label itself is not public, but you can, for example, use our order book DEX on testnet to get a sense of the quality and abilities of some of the trading systems.
All right. Well, thank you, Dan. Appreciate you hopping on the show. I'm excited to see when y'all mainnet happens, and I'll be following the updates. As again, you're always welcome to come back on the show and update the audience as well.
I really appreciate it. It was a pleasure. Thank you very much. And yeah, I'll be glad to come back with updates and news.
Thank you. I'm gonna slide you out.
Thanks, man.
Yep. Hey, y'all. So that was Dan of Ultrade. We're talking about a DeFi as a service or a software as a service company. So make sure y'all look out. Go to the website, read up on it, get an understanding, follow them on Twitter, and then prepare yourselves for the mainnet launch coming up potentially in the next few months. Again, thank you for all tapping in. See Will with the Passive Income Network. I am gone.